former White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Fox News contributor. Carl, good morning to you. I mean, the governor and the mayor have been talking for days about security in the city. I mean, Democrats voted 8-1. I mean, they outnumber Republicans 8-1 in New York City. Well, we'll see how it goes, et cetera. CNN, here's the polling. Do you approve of the indictment of Trump? 60% say yes. If you ask whether or not politics played a role, 52% say a major role, 76% say it did play a role. So that's at the gut of a lot of this. How do you see it so far today?
Yeah, look, even that means that a lot of Democrats and independents see this as political. You had Professor Turley on earlier. He made a very, I thought, powerful case that this is not a very strong case at all. And a lot of others have weighed in. David French, who is a conservative and not a fan of Trump, has written that he thinks this is a very weak case. And so is Andrew McCarthy, who former deputy U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. So this is going to be this is an amazing moment. I mean, this has never happened before that a former president has been indicted, but this has helped him clearly in the race for the Republican nomination. All the polls show so. He has demonstrated an ability to turn this into a fundraising effort. I've received 11 emails from the Trump campaign in the last 24 hours asking for money. They've declared that they've raised $8 million since last Saturday. So this is a positive for him in the short run within the Republican Party. It is not helpful for the long term, however. If you look inside, for example, the ABC Ipsos poll, 16% of Republicans thought he should have been indicted. 1 out of every 6 Republicans. And how many independents who did not vote for him last time around are going to be excited by the issue, even if it's resolved in his favor, since it involves payments, hush money payments to a porn star with whom he allegedly had an affair. So good for him in the short run, not necessarily good for him in the long run, and ugly for the system of American justice in the meantime.
It's interesting, Carl, when you look at these other potential candidates and some already in the race, Nikki Haley and a couple of others, and Ron DeSantis, who's not declared. Ron DeSantis sort of tried to make a mention of the underlying behavior and character issues that he thought should be part of the conversation, and it doesn't seem to have gotten him anywhere. He seems to have slipped in the polls.
Well, I think it's less him slipping in the polls than we're in a tribal moment in American politics, and if you attack the leader of our tribe, we're going to rally around him. And so President Trump is the ostensible leader of the Republican Party, and so if he's under attack, Republicans are going to rally around him. But I wouldn't be so sanguine if I were him. I would be a little bit nervous. If you have 1 out of every 6 Republicans saying, as they said in the ABC poll, that he should have been charged, and you have another 20-some-odd% who say they don't know whether he should have been charged or not, I would suspect that there are a lot of people among that 20% who say they don't know, who really do know or think that he should have been charged, but don't want to say so to an anonymous pollster. That's not good if you're facing a 2024 election in which you face the possibility of 1 out of every 6 Republicans saying, yeah, I think that they should have charged him on the hush money payments, and just over a majority say that they shouldn't have.
It's ironic that they all say that without even having actually seen the charges, but that's
Seeing
where we
the
are.
indictment.
That's where we are.
One more thing here, Carl. CNN, does the indictment strengthen democracy? This is interesting. 31% say yes, 31% say it weakens. I think that answer is to be determined. You know, you think about
Absolutely.
Bill Clinton and the late 90s, you know, I mean, he eventually beat the rap in the Senate, went on to have a successful political career. We've been given warnings for the last week from a lot of politicos in the know that suggest that down the line, DAs across the country will go after their political opponents in a legal sense, more so than they have already. Maybe that's the case. Maybe this is a brushback pitch if Trump were to beat any of these charges. A lot of different ways to look at this now.
Absolutely. And look, if these 34 charges are, as Professor Turley and David French and Andy McCarthy think, are spurious and unsupported, and Bragg loses this case, it will undermine the confidence in our legal system, and particularly in generally in the system of big city prosecutors who are liberal progressives, who file it. But people are going to look at this and say it was all politics, and it will color any other investigation that is now being conducted by federal prosecutors, even though they had nothing to do with this one.
Yeah. Carl, thank you. Stand by. We're going to call on you throughout the day, and we'll see what we get. Thank you, Carl.